Hello there. It's a bit of a messy picture across Europe at the moment. Essentially, high pressure is driving the story, but you can see weather fronts ganging up in the Atlantic, expected to arrive during the weekend and change that story. Good deal of dry weather ahead of it though, and we've still got Storm Irv that caused some problems through the Balkans, but more significant problems through much of Turkey, bringing some heavy rain and some snow. So that's the story on Saturday. Pleased to say it is a slow improvement though across Turkey. Still some snow through eastern Turkey, and that could still bring a high avalanche risk. But the good deal of dry weather through the Balkans, through Italy, through France and into Spain. Starting to see some cloud arriving though. First signs of some wet and windy weather pushing into the far northwest of the UK. Ahead of it, there's a weather front through Scandinavia, through Germany and into the Low Countries as well. But on Sunday, we have got a significant area of low pressure. This has been named in the UK as Storm Kira, and it's going to continue to track its way steadily eastwards. It'll bring damaging gusts of winds, heavy rain across Scandinavia, across Germany and the Low Countries into next week. So this is the city forecast for the next few days. Slowly improving in the UK, but it stays windy, wet and windy into Paris. For Eastern Europe, it's turning noticeably colder, as you can see quite clearly from the city forecast. That's it. Take care. Hello there. We've seen some stormy weather moving its way across North America. The eastern seaboard is still picking up the cloud. You can see quite clearly from that system. On the back edge of it, it's dragging in some cold air out of Canada. So there will be some snow. There'll also be some strong to gale force gusts of wind. So at times, blizzard conditions before it eases away. The tail end of it as well, just affecting Florida. Now behind it, somewhat quieter conditions. But once again, yes, we've still got some wet weather moving its way in, affecting British Columbia. So that's the story across North America. Let's take a look at it in a little more detail. Starting off in the northwest, we have seen a spell of really unsettled weather for the start of this year, and that wet weather still continues. Now that is actually going to sink its way steadily southwards into California and Nevada. For Nevada, the first signs of rain since just before Christmas. But it's not great news for Oscar night, because it means that there could be some rain moving its way through Los Angeles, but slowly an improvement into Vancouver. Here's that snow then on the back edge of that system as it moves through. As I say, could be some strong to gale force gusts of wind, so some blizzard conditions for a time on Friday. A legacy of cloud just tied into that front as far south as Nashville, Tennessee, but a better picture across the southeast once that system has eased through. And we'll see some sunshine over the next few days, with temperatures peaking into the mid-20s. Hello there. Let's take a look at what's happening in South America. Not much change in comparison to recent days, which means that we've still got a good deal of dry, settled weather across Venezuela and northern Colombia. Some heavier shower cloud being picked up on the satellite picture, affecting central and eastern Brazil. That's moving as far south as Rio. A weather front into Buenos Aires as well, bringing some wet weather. That will move its way steadily north, and it's going to introduce cooler air. But it's the temperatures in Venezuela that are slightly above the average for the time of year. It's dry and settled. A few more showers on Friday across Colombia than we've seen of late, but the heavier, more widespread showers certainly across Brazil again. Now there's that weather front into Argentina. That is going to drift northwards. Behind it, well, with sunny spells and scattered showers, but obviously noticeably cooler, with some windy weather across the Falkland Isles. So this is the story over the next few days. The showers will ease in Rio before returning into next week. The rain eases in Buenos Aires. More sunshine comes through. For Mexico, it's largely fine and dry. Tail end of a weather front moving away from North America will just bring some cloud into the Yucatan Peninsula and to parts of the Caribbean, so expect some showers into Cuba, but it's largely fine and quiet through Central America and the Caribbean, pretty much as it should be really at this time of year. The showers will ease in Havana. Sunshine returns from Monday onwards. Hello there. Plenty of weather to talk about across the Middle East at the moment. I'll come back to that in just a moment. Let's start off in Africa, where you can just see a northerly wind is making it a little cooler in the far north of Africa, and there's a bit more of a breeze through the Sahara, so that could bring some lifted dust. Our seasonal rains have brought some flooding across Zambia and Zimbabwe, and we've still got some heavier rain across the Eastern Cape as well. So that's the story through Africa. Here's our city forecast for the next 5 days. We keep a good deal of sunshine across the Western Cape. So you can see see those temperatures peaking into the low 30s from Tuesday. Now, further north, it does stay a little more unsettled with some sharper showers into Kinshasa and also into Lusaka. Temperatures recovering a little for Casablanca. But the real stormy weather has been moving its way across Turkey. We've seen some heavy rain and significant snow. It's brought some severe avalanches as well. And that snow is starting to drift a little bit further east into Armenia and Georgia. We'll start to see some rain pushing into northern Iraq and across the Levant as well. Some wet and windy weather to come here. It's also going to introduce some cooler air over the next couple of days. Further south, it's a little more straightforward. It's dry, settled and sunny, but with more of a breeze picking up too. There could be some lifted dust here as that system clears through. So this is the story, as you can see in the city forecast, getting noticeably colder in Kuwait. Hello there. There are a couple of weather warnings out across South Asia at the moment. One for rain, the other one is for fog, and that's because we've got clear skies. It's also pretty cold up into the north. You can see on the satellite picture. So fog causing some issues with travel as it's slow to clear. This little area of cloud here, some sharp showers. And so weather warnings remain in force for Odisha, Chhattisgarh and parts of Uttar Pradesh as well as it drifts its way steadily eastwards. I'll come back to that in a little more detail in just a moment. But if you take a look at the wider shot, you can see that the temperatures are likely to peak into the low 30s further south where we've got the sunshine. Over to Central Asia now, and it really does look as though we're going to see some cold air spilling out of Kazakhstan now. Not too bad at the moment, and a little bit of cloud around, but it is going to get much colder still. Lots of dry, settled, sunny weather elsewhere, but again, that colder air is going to push its way south. Now back to India, it looks largely fine and dry, isolated showers into the south, but as I say, those temperatures still peaking into the low 30s. But it's here across northeastern states where we'll see the heaviest of the rain, and as I say, there are some weather warnings that have been issued. So our city forecast for the next 5 days shows a good deal of fine sunny weather in the offing, as you'd expect really at this time of year. But that cold air in Kazakhstan, well, it will bring some sunshine here, but it'll also move down into Tashkent with rain. Hello there. Heavy rain is bringing flooding across the east coast of Australia, and at the same time through the northwest we've got a storm. You can see it on the satellite picture here. It's Damien, Cyclone Damien, currently a Category 3, expected to make landfall on Saturday, potentially as a Category 4. More on that in just a moment, but let's start off with something a little quieter through Asia. We have seen some stormy weather across Japan, but that's eased away and a few scattered showers up into the north. A little more cloud through China over the course of Saturday and a few isolated showers, but it's fine and sunny through Vietnam and Thailand. Our seasonal rains further south. So here's the city forecast then for the next 5 days. A good deal of dry weather continues, some rain into Seoul later on. So this is Damien, as I say, expected to make landfall on Saturday as a Category 4. It's going to bring a lot of heavy rain and huge storm surge in that area. And at the same time across that Queensland coast, we're seeing some significant heavy rain. We've got weather warnings out for the rain and also some damaging gusts of winds. Now, some areas have seen in excess of 200 millimetres of rain in 24 hours, and that's going to continue to sink its way south into New South Wales and Victoria. Pleased to say, though, for New Zealand, it continues to stay relatively quiet here with just a few scattered showers. Now, if we look ahead to the city forecast, you can see how unsettled it's going to be into Sydney, and that rain will sink south to Melbourne into next week.